is what is up, BAIO family? How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is having a great Sunday so far. Miss Lady said Roy is just fine. You will be able to, you know, go back and listen to this great information. That's why we always record this. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate that you won't be able to uh listen and be able to comment, but we'll have this reserved for you. Gonna give an extra 30 seconds, give some people some more time before I get into the nitty gritty of this. If some of y'all would like to come on, let me know so that we can send out the link if you would like to. This is gonna be a really informative and an important live stream. All right, y'all. So we're going to be talking about Liberia 2022 and what the BAIO will be doing. So for those who, well, for the BAIO family, this is not new, but for those who are just tuning in, 2022 will mark the 200th anniversary when Monrovia, Liberia, the capital of Liberia, was settled by freed American slaves. So in 1822, the first town on Providence Island, it was on the Montero River. That's where Monrovia was located. And originally, 2 years prior, they had landed in Sierra Leone in Cherbourg Island, but the Sierra Leonean government rejected them. Sierra Leone at this time was um was controlled by the British, although it was founded by African Americans, Freetown, Sierra Leone. So after 1820, that didn't go so well, and a lot of the people died of malaria and of sicknesses. They decided in 1821 to do it again, and that's when they landed on Providence Island, and that's where Providence Baptist Church was. But really, the first major settlement in Liberia was Monrovia, the capital, named after U.S. President James Monroe. Take it as you may be, and that's what 2022 will be marking. Some interesting facts that you need to know about Monrovia is it is the largest city in Liberia. It accounts for at least 25 to 30% of all Liberians. So 1 out of 4 to as much as almost 1 out of every 3 Liberians lives in Monrovia. So it is a very densely populated area. It is the most developed region out of all of Liberia. Um, Human development is that of Nigeria in Monrovia. Some interesting places that we hope to see would be, you have the E.J. Roy building, you have the Masonic building, which I think it was called the Free. It had something to do with Prince Hall, I think it was, but that's there too. You have the Liberian Museum. You have so many universities. I think the University of Liberia is also in Monrovia, one of the oldest universities in West Africa. It is a public university in the oldest universities in West Africa, so it's also there in Monrovia. So there's a lot of things in Monrovia there to offer, and we at the BAO feel it's important for us to commemorate that, and we also plan on taking a trip. Jambo Baruti, peace, Minister Dawu, peace, Chima, peace, Mr. Holism. So that's what we're trying to do for 2022. And this trip is really to put Liberia on the radar for Black Americans and to start making Liberia really the hub for Black Americans, especially considering the cultural ties. I was watching a video on Focus on Liberia, and if you don't know what Focus on Liberia is, please type it in on YouTube and subscribe to their video. They do videos specifically on Liberia. So if you want to, if you want to see anything about Liberia, the politics, how Liberia can be improved, current politicians, people who are throughout the diaspora, please subscribe to Focus on Liberia. And so on Focus on Liberia, they had did a current show, maybe it was like a week or two ago, and it was called Challenges of the African Diaspora. And one of the things that just hit me and it struck me was when, excuse me, was when they were referring to African Americans, and they were talking about Ghana and the year of return. And one of the things that they had noted was that Liberia should be spearheading the way that should be spearheading the Back to Africa movement, giving the history and given the things that Liberia has done that no other African nation can replicate, no other African nation can really claim they said they've done. And so that's what really got me super excited because these were Liberian Americans themselves and they realized the importance of it. And if more African Americans could we start to get it, I think we can really start to propel. So they were talking about that, and they were talking about Liberia's missing out this huge opportunity. And when they started opening up for comments, one of the comments they said was, a lot of African Americans are moving to Liberia, and he said Liberia is the place for them to be. And so that's what they were doing on Focus on Liberia. They also did African American contributions that we posted here on the BAIO. So please subscribe to Focus on Liberia. But that just feeds into our narrative that we are currently talking about right now with Liberia 2022 and why we feel it's important to go there. So hopefully we'll go to Monrovia and then maybe go out to the outskirts because Liberia is not just Monrovia. So a lot of other places are Maryland County in Liberia. Maryland County used to be its own country from 1854 to 1857. That's where John B. Russell was. I think it was the first Black-owned newspaper in America. He went to Liberia, and then he lived in what was called Maryland County. So you have Maryland County. Within there, you have Harper, Philadelphia Township. Then we have just like right up north at Grand Cru and Sanoa, where you got Greenville, you have Adena, you have Barclayville and Grand Cru. I think Grand Cru. I'm not for sure. I have to check that. You have Buchanan up there where you have Magribi and Grand Bassa. So there's so many cities we would like to visit and make really our presence known. So that's what we in the BIO will be doing. And, we hope to tag as many people along. The more people that come here, the more likely the Liberian government will take us seriously, the more that the Liberian government will have incentives to give us citizenship, to give us land, to really sort of establish a life there. So we hope that we can get as many people to come to Liberia as possible. I know that we've been talking about Liberia for so long, and people have asked us, when are you going to Liberia? When y'all going to Liberia? We'll be going soon, okay? So that will be answering that question. So anybody who wants to come up here and want to say, well, we ain't been to Liberia, when we moving to Liberia, when we making the move to Liberia, just so you know, we will be heading in the near future. So that will be another talking point smash. You can highlight this video in the talking smash point period, so that people can know. So whenever they bring this up, all you got to do is take this clip and show it to them. Peace, Groundbreaker. Peace, NDR 1981. It's good to see everybody in the chat. So, yeah, this is our time to shine. This needs to get out. Word needs to get out. I know that a lot of people don't know about this. If you ask the majority of people, hold on, we have a question. Do we have some native boots on the ground or someone connected to the Liberian yet, or do we have to work on that? We have to work on that. I have native boots on the ground. I got people who are from Liberia, and I have people who live in Liberia right now. But as like they are government officials and ministers, not yet. And we would have to work on that. And that's what I'm working on right now with Focus on Liberia. So Focus on Liberia, they have connections in Liberia with professors, with teachers, and all that, people in Canada, Liberians all across the diaspora. And that was one of the things when I had reached out to Focus on Liberia that we were trying to do, was trying to see where we could take this from, where we can try to see where it could go. So as of right now, we don't necessarily have people connected to the government, but we do have boots on the ground. Now, there is one person I think we would have to try. If you've ever watched the African Diaspora News Channel, they did an interview with a woman by the name of Royda Ure, and she is one of the most well-known Liberians. Some of her family members, like I can't pronounce his name, but Benoni Ure, he's one of the richest men in Liberia. Her sister was also, running as part of the Liberty Party. So that's a fair note, but as of right now, we do not have necessarily native boots on the ground as of right now. So I'm trying to work on that, and I hope other BL members will help assist. So that can be taken care of. But right now we don't. Mhm. If we had to pick a month in 2022, what would you personally suggest? Personally, to me, I'm not going to be able to do it till after May because I'm still in college. I'm still in school. So anything pre-May is not going to work out. So May, June would probably be the best. Also, that's summertime as well. Although it is rainy during summer season, it is tropical. Just be aware of that. But the May, June, July would definitely be the best place to go, considering that it's summertime, and of course it's a tropical climate. So, I mean, it would still be good. So, yeah. Questions? Any questions? Like I said, give me your comments, give me your questions. If you would like to come on and you have any concerns, anything you would like to say, let me know so we can send this link out. That would be the best month. If we were going to tour Liberia, I would suggest staying in the Monrovia area. Like I said, that's the most developed. Areas like Monrovia, Margibi, Grand Bassa, those are really the most developed. Now, there are some regions close to Monrovia. NDR 1981 said that with establishing a partnership with Liberian businesses, does businesses owners give us a leg up with the government's ETC? I think it would. I think it would because you now have businesses to back us up, and it's showing them that we have, the connections and that we're putting money into the economy. So partnering with Liberian and Liberian-owned businesses would definitely give us a leg up. Also connecting with political parties abroad. So there's the Liberty Party. If you're on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook. I've never created a Facebook account, but they have, the Liberty Party USA. They have, the Alternative National Congress, the ANC, not to be confused with the African National Congress. There are political parties there, and so making those connections could give us influence within the government. So definitely establishing or partnering with Liberian businesses and business owners will give us a leg up, but also as well as, connecting with the political parties right now so that we can at least give some sway and, give some incentives for them. So that would be, the first major test, but also connecting with ordinary Liberian people, not just connecting with, the major business owners like Benoni Ure, what I was referring to, who was the richest man in Liberia, but like ordinary people. Like I know 2 or 3 people who are right now in Liberia, or I know people who are, who do ministry there, or like I said, they live in Ivory Coast and they commute to Liberia every now and then. There are YouTubers on Liberia actually, so there are a lot of YouTubers who work in Liberia. So that like Liberia to the world is one of them. You can do that. There are many YouTube videos on moving to Liberia, so we can use those as also a reference guide. We definitely need a good guide and definitely need someone with well political like we do in Rwanda. That would be ideal if we can manage to pull it off. We can pull it off, like I said. Liberia, I don't think we would have a problem trying to get that because they're very accessible. Like they're very accessible. Like they're not always out of the country. Most of the time they're in the country and they're in their respective counties. So that's really not going to be a problem. I'm trying to right now. I'm focused on getting Liberian American orgs because I know that Liberian American orgs have sway in Liberia, like the ULAA. And so just getting that influence from the ULAA and getting it focused on Liberia could lead to connections within Liberia and within the government. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. By the way, be on the lookout. I will be doing an interview on Focus on Liberia, so be on the lookout for that, and we will be chopping it up. There will be people on the panel, so just so that could be aware. I know this is a topic that everybody talks about. All I gotta say, that Liberian flag gotta go, fam. Gotta come up with something more suitable. That's been a debate since like the 1970s. You know, the Liberian flag should be changed. I did send a poll. It was on Live Positive, and you can follow Live Positive on Instagram. And they did a survey back in 2018. They asked, you know, should the Liberian flag be changed? And it was like 29% said yes, and 71% said no. So, um, that's gonna be a work in progress to try to change their minds. Some Liberians just say that we just need to deal with it. We just need to deal with it. Just work with the flag, and we may not be. Some of us may not be connected to symbols or don't understand why people cling to symbols. But for a lot of Liberians, they feel like it's representative of their history. Like, no, it doesn't take away from the fact that it was founded by free slaves. No, it won't stop the fact that we were founded by people from America. And so that's why some Liberians feel like the flag should be kept. Also, because the flag was designed by 7 African American women. But I do understand that, you know, having a replica of the American flag is not really, you know, the ideal situation. Mm. Hold up said the Liberian flag is low on the totem pole in the pecking order of importance of me. It's like arguing over the color of your rose. That is true, though. I mean, you get the nation state, that's what matters. I mean, once you get the nation state, I mean, the flag can be interpreted as whatever you want. You still have social, economic, and political control over your destiny. Nice. You definitely got to send that link whenever that interview happens. Um, I do know that it's gonna probably be next week. So, or no, wait, this upcoming week. Let me take that. This upcoming week. So just be on the lookout. I will be doing that, and I've been calling the leader of that. You know, other associates, whoever I can call to get connections. That's what I'm doing in my local community. That's what I'm doing right now. So, you know, making sure that we have that is important. Another thing that I would say for the BL in Liberia 2022 is a plan. So what I mean by plan is like we come up with like a policy proceed like proposals or policies that we would like to see implemented because it's going to be great that we're going to have, you know, we're working on getting a tour guide and working with people with the government, but I think we also need to have an agenda like, you know, these are the policies that we would like to see implemented, or we've done research on this, like, you know, hey, you know, we got these many black businesses in America and they're in these particular industries, and you know, we can bring them over here and mm, okay. All right, bro. All right, bro. I see you, bro. The struggles be real. People got bills and costs of I understand. It just be it be a struggle. But yeah, we have the policy like because I did public policy, and one of the things from public policy is that you know you have the outline of who's gonna benefit. So um so oh my. So with that, you know, we come with our agenda saying, you know, hey, you know, we want citizenship, you know, we want to have representatives in the Liberian government. So 2 to 3 people, you know, representing the diaspora, African Americans. There's only 30 seats in the Senate and 100 in the House of Representatives. I think that's what it is. Or it might even be lower than that. Yeah, that is important, and that's and a good thing, Fatty Black, that you said that, and that's what I was mentioning, you know, earlier, like watching like Liberian YouTubers, like who've been to Liberia, like Monrovia. Like, there's this one woman. If you type in Maryland County, she goes all throughout Maryland County, talking about Harper, some of the areas, the markets there, showing off Liberia. There is, you know, Liberia to the world. You have there are so many other ones that I can list off the top that I can't list right now, but that are there. ITV Lib getting information with politics. So that would be one of the very important things. Um, Peace and blessings, underrated mind. So yeah, so as it stands for the Liberian House of Representatives, there are 73 seats in the House of Representatives and 30 in the Senate. So there's a few people representing the country, so we can definitely change that. So how it breaks up right now is Congress for Democratic Change is 21, the Unity Party is 20, the Liberty Party has 3 seats, the National Union for Democratic Progress has 6, the National Democratic Coalition has 5, the Alliance for Peace and Democracy has 3, the National Patriotic Party, Charles Taylor Party, which needs to be banned, has 3 parties. The Movement for Progressive Change is 2. You have the Liberia Destiny Party has 1 seat, and Liberian Transformation Party has 1 seat. The National Reparation Party 1 seat, and the Independence is 9. Now I do know that this previous last election, the Congress for Democratic Change did not, do well, but so that's a failure on George Weah. Uruti said if Mzungu named the country Liberia, that's got to go too. Rename the country Uhuru or some other African bantu name to convey freedom. I would say name it like a West African name, in particular Liberian name. So like Fatumata which is the Gola name, or a Mende name. So like Fatumata, Soma, Jabate, Zolu. Those are indigenous Liberian names. There are also more names that are of the Gola, Pele, Mandingo, Mende tribes. So, if we want to name it that, we can. I do know that some people will be resistant to this. I know that we got the revolutionary, we want complete independence, but there are going to be some Liberians who feel like, oh, you're erasing history, and that, we should keep the name Liberia. It represents everything, Mm. Mm. So yeah, like Holub said, same thing at Baruti. Before we can change it or rename it, we first have to claim it and be a part of it. And that's one of the things that like I've done recently is identifying myself as like Liberian American, even though I'm not legally, but identifying ourselves as Liberian American to claim that country, say this is ours, it was founded by us. I identify myself with that country. That's my nationality. That's the country that I rep. And I feel like once we do that, then we can really, be a part of it because you claim it. That's the very first thing you got. You got to claim the name. You got to claim the name. You got to claim the name. You got to claim everything about it. As far as erasing history, that's why we have museums. Yeah, that is true. That is true. We do have museums, and there are a lot of like museums in Liberia that talk about things like this. So, I mean, we can have the flag, reserved in the museum and say, this was our first flag, and it was significant because it was designed by 7 African American women, and here is our new flag. So, yeah, we do have museums, and we need more of that. Because we have our president's graves that are there that some of them are not kept up to par, but they are just as significantly important. So, yeah, that's why we have museums. That's why we have sites so that our children can learn, and people can learn about it. You said, okay, Jabari, anything African and solidly meaningful as a name for the country, Liberia is fine. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. But first we gotta, like Hola said, we gotta claim it. Let me put that back up. We gotta make that clear. We have to claim it and be a part of it. And that's one of the things that on the African Diaspora Challenge focus we have to talk about. We have to claim it first. You have to claim this is our country. I am proud of it. This is our history. We've done a lot of accomplishments. That's what needs to happen first before anything. Because once we claim it, we'll feel like we can be a part of the process. How long will the visit be for 2022? 10 days, 15 days? I was checking on flights, and the flights that I was seeing, they was like they left on May. Yeah, I'm about to say it's gonna be like 10 days, really. Because that's how long the flights were. Because when I went on, it was like May 16th, but then the next United Airlines flight was like May like 29th or like May 28th. So it's gonna be in like packs of like 10 days of that. So have the economics of Liberia been touched on already? No, the economics of Liberia have not been touched on yet. But I will get into that if you would like. So the economics of Liberia. So Liberia is one of the, it's not. It's one of the least. It's not one of the. Well, it is one of the lesser developed countries in terms of GDP per capita. Now, GDP is the same about Guinea, Gambia, Ethiopia, but in terms of purchasing power, in terms of if I were to change GDP nominally to GDP, purchasing power parity or PPP, Liberia is like a $1,200 a year, which is not much. That's like $3 to $4 a month. But that is due to the fact that Liberia doesn't have the necessary infrastructure because the Civil War destroyed it. If we were to go back prior to 1980, Liberia was richer than Egypt. It was richer than Botswana. It was richer than Kenya, Nigeria. You name it, it was richer than most of those countries in the 1970s and the 1960s. But because of the Civil War, it virtually tanked the economy. And so because of that, a lot of infrastructure is missing. Now they are building roads, they are building bridges, but in terms of a per capita basis, Liberia is one of the least developed. However, it is richer than Sierra Leone because I've seen a lot of people talking about, Sierra Leone is better than Liberia. No, it ain't. Sierra Leone is poorer than Liberia. Just put it that way. It's richer in terms of GDP because it has a higher population, but in terms of GDP per capita, it is poorer than the Liberia. So, and it's more developed than Sierra Leone as well. So, Liberia would definitely be the place to be. Like I said, it's not really different than Ethiopia. Ethiopia and Liberia have virtually the same human index development. The only thing that makes Ethiopia, richer is Addis Ababa, which is significantly developed, has high human development. But otherwise, Ethiopia and Liberia are virtually the same. Same with Gambia, same with Tanzania in regard. Yeah, so it's not going to be a long trip. It's going to be maybe 10 days, like at 15 at most. The prices range from like 1,100 to 1,500. So it all depends on where. It also depends where you're flying from. I don't know where some of y'all are flying from, but I know for me, when I looked it up, like to go from Charlotte to Liberia, although it's going to be a day because of the layovers, it's $1,100. But if I would have went from Atlanta straight to it would have been a good solid $2,000. So it does depend on where you flying from. So to just be aware of that. In terms of everything else, living in Liberia is fairly cheap because, of course, it's still a developing country. Prices can be a little bit expensive because we import a lot of things, which is one of the things that we could talk about when we meet with, Liberian government officials is, hey, Liberia imports a lot of things. They import rice, for goodness sake. Saying, hey, we got black farmers in America, we can make your rice, we can make your cassava, we can make your, food, and, we can get people to, help manufacture and, get the machinery necessary to build it. So just so you know, if prices are a little bit high, that's why, because a lot of things are imported. So just be aware of that. Any questions? Any, people who we would preferably want to talk to? Preferably, ideally, the president. The president doesn't have a huge following. I checked his Instagram account. He only has 18,000 followers on Instagram. Just saying. So he's not like a mega superstar. He's just the president of Liberia. Other people we could maybe talk to: Henry Costa, Darius Dillon. We could also talk to the Ures. We could talk to um Jewel Taylor. She's the vice president. We could talk to Duncan Hill, who is the brother of the first lady. So there are a lot of people that we can talk to if we would like. Um, so yeah, those are the options that we have if we wanted to go. And since we know the history and since we're experts on the history, I think more and more they would be more willing to be open to us. And they tried to do it this year. It was really sad when they had to celebrate Providence Island this year. It didn't get to have the grand NAACP, the black fraternities, the black sororities, the Liberian diaspora there. So 2022, I think we can make amends for that. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? There's still a debate on the dual citizenship thing going on. There is a refiguration of that. So that just be on the lookout for that as well. If dual citizenship is a thing that you are interested in, if it's not what you want, then we could, move on. Um, okay, so I do have the courthouse. This is from the courthouse news service. So they did say that Liberians rejected plan for shorter term limits, dual citizenship, and that was because it's under President George Weah. George Weah is not that popular. Um, they um he's not really that popular, and Liberians rejected it because they felt like he was going to overstay it. And the reason why was because rumors surfaced that Wade could use the changes to bid for a third term, because they would say, "Oh, well, see, I completed my first term, but see, now it's on a 5, so I can run for a third term." So even though there's only a 2-term limit, so right now they didn't back down. But just so you know, lawmakers stay in Liberia for a long time. A long time. So for the president, it's 6 years. Okay. For the senators, it's 9 years. So for every 9 years, you have to every 9 years is when senators are elected. So that's the thing. For House lawmakers, the lower house, what we would call the House of Representatives, it is 6 years. So just be aware that Liberian, politics, it is long as can ever be. Dual citizenship is not a problem in Liberia and Sierra Leone. It's in their constitution that you gotta be black to be a citizen. That alone makes you want to go. I mean, it's based on the history, and I think that even Liberians who are supportive of dual citizenship have made that specifically clear that they don't want to get rid of the non-Negro clause, because here's what they made the argument is they made the argument that it's protectionary, and it is to a degree, because they're trying to protect themselves from what they see as foreign, basically foreign control, because Liberia is not a developed, stable, it's not a developed nation. They're not rich. And so if you allow non-Negroes to be citizens, there are a lot of, Liberians who feel like the Lebanese would take control of the country, because they would now have political power, and the Lebanese, um, control vast amounts of the economy. A lot of Liberia's economy is run by Lebanese. Um, and that's not just a problem in Liberia. That's in Sierra Leone. That's in Liberia. I mean, that's in Ivory Coast as well. So there is that concern. There was an article that said Asiabyafrica.com, and it said, "Will the Lebanese take over Liberia?" Many think so. And just so people know, even though The Lebanese have a vast amount of control. Like, yeah, like Big Shep said, Lebanese already have a country, but still, they have huge economic sway in Liberia. So in Liberia, there are 3 to 4,000 Lebanese that live in the country. However, that dwarfs compared to 100,000 that live in Senegal. So Senegal has a huge Lebanese population. Um, but yeah, that's where the main concern why they have the non-Negro clause there is before it's protectionary. Now, when we have social and economic political control, all right, Lebanese, you can then come in because you're, and that's true. Every non-black country makes you jump through hoops and loops to become a citizen, and even then, as we know here, you're not. And and that is true. It's not just that, but it's just that you have to prove that you are a citizen. Like you can't just say, "Hey, I'm a citizen." No, like you got to prove to us that you are a citizen. Show us that you are hiring African workers. So you want your business here? All right, 50% or more of them have to be at least half at the bare minimum have to be black workers, and they have to be paid, and they have to be on your board. Like you have to benefit us. We're not gonna gone are those days. Well, you said you are conservative on that, so I understand. I'm a little bit more liberal, but I understand the conservative position, and I'm not vehemently opposed if they want to stay on a visa or they want to be temporary residents. And that's the thing. You can be a temporary resident, and the thing is about that is that's what citizenship is about. Like even in Japan, you can live in Japan, but if you want your U.S. citizenship, you can't be a Japanese citizen. It is what it is. So I mean, we gonna make it like, hey, you want to be a citizen, great. You got to give up everything. You got to give up your Lebanese citizenship. You got to give up everything. That's me personally. I know some of y'all just like keep them on a long-term visa, and they just get the benefit because you don't necessarily need to be a citizen because a visa and a citizen in a citizenship, they're very similar except you can't vote, but visas, they give you a lot of the, advantages of being a citizen. So, um, any system that allows bureaucrats to be career politicians and live like fat cats off the people has to go. Yeah, that has to happen. And like I said, I don't like the fact that they can be in office, senators be in office for 9 years. Like that's a decade in office. Like that's too long. Like 9 years for senators. Okay, 5 years for House. Okay, 6 years I can deal with that. Same thing with like a presidency, but a decade, to me that's too long. That's too long for me for senator to be in office. I say 5 years at max, and then you can run again for 2 term limits, 2 to 3, and that's it. Public servants should just be that public servants. You serve the public, and then you get your ass out there and become a private citizen. Yeah, but unfortunately, if you watch that video, if you watch that video on the Democratic Republic of Congo, they were talking about how well, if you're a politician, you can still do business, and I was like, and like somebody put it in the comment section, that's called corruption. If you're saying, yeah, as a politician, you can still do business, that's corruption. Now there is a little bit of corruption in Liberia, but the thing about it is corruption it's rampant, but it's due to incompetence. Really, it's really incompetence, not really, because many of these Liberian leaders are incompetent. Just saying, but there is a little bit of corruption. The good news is the income inequality is not huge. So it's not like America is, where the rich almost own practically everything and run society, and poor people don't run anything. So that is the good thing about that. Um, so that's one of the things that I did enjoy about that. What else? Um, yeah, and there are hundreds of thousands of Liberians that live abroad, overseas, and they have huge potential. Like I said, we see the Liberian community in Minnesota, we see the Liberian community in Georgia, we see the Liberian community in New York. where they are doctors, where they are nurses. You know, like I said, imagine if we just came in. Imagine if the Liberian government said, "Hey, listen, man. Hey, if y'all come in here and y'all bringing these skills, we'll open up things." Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the truth. If you want to do business, you can't be a politician. Period. Point blank. End of story. I wish that was more around, but I was doing an enterprise. I was doing research on the enterprise survey, and they were talking about corruption, and they were talking about the amount of countries that had to pay gifts for them to get a construction permit. Amount of companies paying gifts to get like a license. The government just paying, like, asking for gifts and stuff like that for in return of a construction permit. And that just triggered me because it's like, you're not supposed to pay money. 3 years and 4 years for president and limit 2 terms. Yep. That's how it should be. In Liberia right now, as it stands right now in Liberia, you have 2 6-year terms. So you can be in office for 12 years. So example would be Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She was in office in 2006. She didn't get out till 2018. And when George Weah took office, the economy changed. Under Sirleaf, the economy was getting better. George Weah is incompetent. It was good because it was a peaceful transition of power. I would have preferred Bokai, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, right now it's 12 years. And I think you can be in office for like 18 to 20 years in Liberia, because I don't think there's a term limit for senators in Liberia. So I think you can be in office. I think a president should have a 5-year plan, and I'm not even feeling a second term. I'm not dead set against it, but I understand what you're saying, because that's what China does. China does a 5-year plan, and Vietnam also does a 5-year plan. And I feel like that's better because we need to see where you're going within the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah, it's great you're president, but we need to be able, because you can access it right now. If you go online right now, you can access China's 5-year plan. If you were to type in China's 5-year plan, 2021 PDF, it shows you key issues for China's 14th 5-year plan. China's 14th 5-year plan, a first look. You can easily find it. Most corporations and businesses have a 5-year plan. You have to. You have to. You can't have a year plan. And I feel like once we get over that and we govern with that metric, then I think we'll be better. He's been in office. I think he's only been in office for 10 years, because Xi Jinping took office, I think, in 2012. Yeah, it was on the 15th of November 2012. Xi was elected to the post of General Secretary of the Communist Party and Chairman of the CCP Central Military Command. And I think by 2014, officially, he was the as an agenda. How many people have heard of the China 2049? Like I said, if y'all want to come on here and y'all want to talk, y'all are free to come on. Y'all are free. I've already sent out, the link to some in the chat. So if y'all want to come on, let me know, and I'll put the link in if y'all want me to. But yeah, because China has something called the Chinese Rejuvenation 2049, and it was to make China the dominant military superpower by the year 2049 by trying to make, that. So, so if we give a president a 5-year term to complete his voted on and approved vision, I think that is enough time. Would the BAIO consider once getting and vetting connections to link members to Liberia to establish businesses and invest and so on? We have not discussed that yet, but we would be open to it. I think Hola wouldn't mind, but Hola would really have to. I'm going based off of what Hola would suggest, and what other members in the chat would suggest, and if that's what they would suggest, that's what they would suggest. So that's you know that's my stance on it. But definitely a vetting process will be necessary because I mean it is what it is. So what else is important that I need to make note of? Oh yeah, the ECOWAS. ECOWAS. That's what I need to make a note. ECOWAS and the Union of the Mono River. So y'all already know what ECOWAS is. It's the Economic Community of West African States. But the Union of the Mono River is basically it was founded. I think it was founded by Liberia, and it includes the Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia, and we're all border countries. So with that, we can easily travel within the four countries. And then who knows what could happen? Maybe once we build our us up and we become a global power, we can maybe, unite all the countries together. Um, but that's one of those things to also be on the lookout as well. What else? What else is there? Any other questions? Any other questions? Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. We need to get Liberia 2022 out there because, Ghana's year of return 2019 got like literally millions and millions of views, and Liberia 2022 is barely being mentioned. I'm trying to share that message, trying to get the word out. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Um, it needs to be out there. I mean, this is our ancestors. This is when our ancestors founded this capital city, that became one of the most prominent in Africa. So let's share the word. Let's share the message. There's a lot of opportunities in Liberia. The weather is good. If you want Miami weather 24/7, Liberia would be the place to go. If you want to see the pygmy hippos, if you want to see the largest West African rainforest, Liberia is a place to be. So that's what we can develop that for ecotourism as well. But yeah, any other questions? Because otherwise than that, like Holub said, like, share, subscribe, comment, join. Please sign up to the website at baioafrican.org. Register. Discord. We have meetings. On the BAIO website. Be on the lookout for that today. Hold up if there's any other things, people in the chat, if there's any other things that you would like to say, let it be known. As for me, the last thing that I would say is, we have to tell our story. And one of the things that I was considering for this live stream was shaping the narrative and, taking back the narrative. Like Underrated Mindset, join the Discord conversation. And Holo's last thing was, I'm confused as to why the Liberian government hasn't petitioned the U.S. for reparations. It has not been brought up yet. It has not been brought up to them yet. Once we push, like I said, for that Liberian Observer, that was for, that is a good topic. Y'all be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that Discord tonight. You will enjoy it. It has not been brought up, hold up, but just we'll get there. When we arrive and we bring out all this information to the Liberian government, because there are many Liberians and even government officials who do not know the history that we know, we will propel. It will catch on. Can you speak on the educational system? I believe the BAIO should make a curriculum. So Liberia's educational curriculum is in its infancy because it's been destroyed by the Civil War, and so there's not a lot of access to education. But that's where we can step in, and we can provide a curriculum based on Black nationalist leaders in the Back to Africa movement and Liberian history. Talking about King Salboso, the Congo Confederacy. So Liberian government in its infancy, but that's what allows us to step in and really take the lead. Because if we take the lead, Liberia will emerge, but also we can shape the minds. Our curriculum could be based off a land infrastructure nation as the core of our histories, and we can provide numerous other courses. We can become the knowledge capital of the world. Of course, doing Liberian history, African American history, African philosophy, providing other courses as well. In sciences, technologies, and humanities, global studies, we can really become the propeller of that. So yeah, um, that's what it speaks of the education system. Now, I do know they don't go by ABC calendar. They don't go by ABC. So I think they go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 3 is a pass, and a 5 is like an excel. I assume that's what the grading system is right now. But they do offer African study classes, though. They do offer African study classes from the African perspective, African civilization. So they do offer some of that. I just feel like we just need to come in and really sort of, make it blossom because it's already there. It just needs us to blossom it. But otherwise, that is it. That is it. There's nothing much really to say. Uh, uh, Thank you to the BAIO family, for what y'all do and what we will continue to be doing. Be on the lookout. Liberia 2022, the year of Liberia, marking the 200th anniversary of when the first freed slaves arrived in Monrovia, which was originally known as Christopolis. Please, 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 please share. Let this be known to all your African American relatives and family. And with that, BAIO family. Oh, we got hold on. All they have to do is put hold up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, okay. One more thing. I need 70 subscribers to reach 4,000 in a giveaway. The 33 strategies of war book. Please, 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 please do that. Please subscribe to Holup's channel. All they have to do is put Holup 4K in the comment section of the main video on my YouTube channel. Come on, y'all. Holup 4K, Holup 4K. We have to choose a standard language. I would say the BAIO script because Liberia has its own script. They have the BAIO script, the Pele syllabary, and they have the Loma syllabary. So we already have our own language system and our own writing system. We just got to teach it. So they're already indigenous languages there. We don't necessarily need to teach Swahili can be what we use in Africa, but within Liberia we can use the BAIO script. And if you type in the BAIO script, actually, you can actually see it. So yeah. How about math and science? Their math and science really isn't the best, Eric. Like I said, Liberia doesn't have the necessary infrastructure, so it's gonna need those resources. So that's where we can get it. So double O is the Vi, Loma, and Pele. I put it in the chat right now. That's how you spell it. You can go look it up, and that's what you will see. So those are the three scripts that we can make as our official language. But to get back to Eric Calato's point, this math and science is not really there because they don't necessarily have the qualified certified teachers. You're going to need people who are certified in fluid mechanics, statics, engineering, in the STEM field, and they just don't have that there. So that's what's missing. They do have some, but they don't have enough, and sometimes classes can be overcrowded. So they do have some infrastructure. I'm not here to say that they don't have any. We would have to build from scratch. All we would have to do is really just expand and really renovate, which is what we were talking about earlier. But that's what it is. But yeah, if you want to know the languages, please look up that. Please look up the Vi, Loma, and Pele. Especially the Vi language, you will see that it has its own script, its own writing style. That would be something that you would enjoy to listen. So I wanted to keep that up. Just type in the Vi language and you will get it. So yeah. There are internet resources that can help. There are internet resources that can help too. You just like Omniglot. If you're talking about for language, Omniglot can do it, but outside of that, in the math and sciences, yeah. He said, thanks, yep, STEM wizards who want to be leaders, facts, and like Double O said, textbooks in BAIO. I really want the BAIO language to be the official language. That's what the language we should be reading. So yeah, absolutely, STEM is critical to becoming competitive. That's what we need to focus on. That's what we need to focus on. Honestly, we need to be focusing on STEM. Like I tell you, we need to be focusing on astronomy. We need to be focusing on nano engineering. I do civil engineering right now with a minor in physics. Mechanical engineering. We need more doctors as well. Liberia only has like 291 doctors for 5 million people. So we're going to need Black doctors on board, Black nurses, Black pharmacists. We need you. Black professionals, Liberia needs you. And we're going to be emphasizing that when we try to go that Black professionals, this is where you matter the most. No, I said, Baruti, what I was saying was that Kiswahili should be used for Africa. We're talking about within Liberia, not, you know how you have the EU, right? A similar analogy would be the EU, right? The EU, the official language of the EU, most countries use is English. But within their countries, you have French, you have German, you have Italian, you have Greek, you have Swedish. That's what that's what that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about when we're talking about Kiswahili. I had some fuckery happen, so some some fuckery happened. So that's what happened. My connection came out. No, apologies. My bad. That was my apologies. Yeah. So, I'm sorry. I'm back. Um, so I'm back, y'all. My connection went out. Yeah. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Cause my connection came out. My bad. So yeah. Can y'all hear me? All right. So y'all can hear me. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I was just like my connection just random came out. But yeah, that's really all it came out. So yeah, and if you're willing to help, that's what we need. We need all hands on deck. Nationhood is a team process. So I appreciate everybody within the BAIO chat. Remember, come to the Discord. Let me highlight that. I'm gonna make sure I highlight that. Make sure we highlight underrated minds. Remember the BAIO Register. Please sign up to the website at baioafricstan.org.register. You are needed. But yeah, that's all I have to say. If there aren't any more questions, I'm just gonna give 30 seconds for the questions. So if there's anything on your mind, how would this be facilitated? Would you like to come? Let us know. Please let us know. If you want to come, we would really appreciate if you come because that would add us more credibility. So please, if you can come. All right, y'all. If that ain't it, how can you help? Hold up already knows. If you sign up to the website, we can go from there. If you sign up to the website, we can go with that. Oh, thank you for that. Hold up. Dawood, me and Dawood are on his channel at 3 p.m. Be there. So please be on Minister Dawood's channel. I will definitely be tuning into that one. Y'all spew facts. I love you and Minister Dawood. I love you and Minister Dawood. Y'all are really it. But yeah, like I said, Terrence Foster Jr., just sign up to the website, BAIOAfrican.org. Just sign up to the website and we can go from there. We can, get you acclimatized within everything. So that's what we need. All right, fam, it's past an hour. I don't want to keep you guys busy and occupied. Thank you guys so much for being on this live stream. We are dedicated to this. I appreciate those words of encouragement double O. All right, Baruti, Asante Sana, Kwa Habari Jabari, Tutu Onana Kwasasa. I'm getting better with my understanding of Swahili, but yeah. It was nice seeing all y'all. And with that, like Holub said, sign up to the BAO website. Sign up to the BAIO website. Please do that. Terrence, that's what you can do. Let me do that again. Let me get the website. I want to make sure. And with that, Sam, it was great talking to y'all. Peace.